Sup peeps, my name's Ian, I sell books on eBay, and yesterday I had a wee bit of an epiphany, just a miniphany, just a little epiphany, a miniphany, but I'll tell you a wee bit more about that shortly. First, I want to look at some orders. 13 orders in total going out, so not bad. 3 of them I had to get packed up and out first thing this morning because I needed to drop them into the delivery office because they were big parcels and they don't fit in the parcel box that's next to it. So I might get the rest run through here, packed up and over there in time to drop off, but I didn't want to chance it with the big ones this morning because otherwise I've got to queue in the post office and it's a pain in the backside. So 3 of them that have already gone. I'll tell you what they were. A bundle of Robert Galbraith J.K. Rowling books, so 5 hardcovers. I'll stick a wee picture of it up here somewhere. I can't remember exactly which ones they were, but you'll be able to see. But they went for £22 for the 5 of those, so that was quite a nice wee start. And then a big lot of Mills and Boons, so I had made up a few bundles of Mills and Boons books to list, and I just couldn't be bothered, man. So I put them all up into one big lot, 39 books, and stuck them up for 45 quid, and they've sold within a couple of days. So I could have made a wee bit more money selling them off individually, but those 40 books cost me well less than £10 to buy, so getting 45 quid back on them, I'm quite happy with that. It's probably a nice week and a £20 profit just from that lot. So I just got them shifted, and again there'll be a picture somewhere around here. The last big lot that went out was a complete set of Game of Thrones, so I picked up a complete set just the other day, possibly on Friday, and it was the first 5 books were all the TV tie-in. I've not seen them as a complete set before, and then the final Dance with Dragons was just the normal editions, as it were. So I bundled all of them up and they sold for £24. So that was 3 half decent sales to get the day running. Right, let's show you some that I haven't packed and posted yet, shall we? A lot of bundles today, which is always good. Only maybe 2 single books, maybe one. Two single books, the rest are all bundles. And the first bundle is Ms. Nora Roberts. So 5 Nora Roberts, 4 paperbacks and a wee hardcover, but it's a nice light hardcover, so my postage will stay low on that one, thankfully, because Nora Roberts, I don't sell them for a huge amount. Having said that, £13.29 for the 5 of those. Put them down there out the way. Next, another bundle. A little bit different from Nora Roberts, but still a bit of a favourite anyway. Ian Rankin. We've got Mortal Causes with the wee white cover, The Black Book, and Standing in Another Man's Grave, and the 3 of them £9.99. As ever, any number I'm saying includes postage paid. So for example, they went on buy 2 get 1 free, so they're 6 quid for the 2 books because they're 3 quid each, and then £3.99 postage. Right, this was a nice sale. I've picked these up over the last few weeks, not at the same time, but we've got Pokemon Emerald version, Game Boy Advance map guide thing, and Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, again some sort of game guide. The official Hoenn region strategy guide. Don't know much more about them than that, but when I looked them up, they seem to be selling for a reasonable price, so I put them up at 30 quid each, and they're both sold together, one wee bundle, so £60 for that sale there. So that was a really nice one to keep the day moving. A couple of good high value sales excuse me, yesterday. Right, I've got a wee bundle of DVDs I'll show you, and then the epiphany. I'm probably using that word completely wrong, but you know, what can you do? Stack of Disney DVDs. I haven't sold any of these for probably a couple of weeks. I don't know, feels like it's been a wee while, but 10 of them going out today, so £13.99 for the 10 DVDs. So it cost me £1 for 10, so that's a good deal to get them shifted. $13.99 on that. Right. So last week was the worst week of sales of the year so far, which February, March, I know it's slow. It's to be expected. You're not going to make great sales, but the sales felt like they didn't reflect what I was selling. So I know that, you know, the vast majority of what I've got, people are buying because it has sold, and it's sold fairly regularly. There'll be bits and pieces in there that are, you know, washouts, and after a year I'll realise that and pull them and redonate them, do whatever with them. But for the most part, a lot of what I've got is stuff that people want to buy and does sell reasonably well when it gets put in front of them. And it, you know, my listings views were edging downwards, not like dropping off a cliff or anything, but they were just kind of, instead of going up the more I listed, they were creeping down, which didn't seem right. And the sales have just been on a steady kind of decline for the last wee while as well, which again, nothing, there's been some terrible days, there's been some alright days, so it's nothing that said, right, something's broken, something's gone completely wrong, but it just didn't feel as if it was reflecting what should be done. So I've been doing what everybody else probably does. You know, you watch all the YouTube videos, all the gurus, you know, and I've clicked onto something, a guy I've never watched before, can't even remember who it was, but he was going on about, you know, I spent the last 2 weeks and I've put all my promoted listings up to 5%, and it's made no difference to my sales, so I've dropped them back down to 2%. And something clicked, kind of fell half into place, excuse me, and then I was watching another video later in the day. That's usually just background stuff when I'm doing other things, but put this guy on and it was like, why is eBay broke? And it was going through, you know, all the different competition, there's different platforms. Yeah, we know all of this. Market share has dropped. eBay are having to find other ways to kind of capitalise on the audience that they've got, make some money. We got into demographics. You know, the demographic for eBay is older than some of the other online selling platforms, which kind of works for me because there's not many 18-year-olds, I think, go out and buy Nora Robert books. You know what I mean? But he kept going on about, you know, eBay want to make money. They're trying to make money for their shareholders and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, you know, that's right. eBay, they're a big business. They're in this to make money. How do they make money? By people shopping on their platform. So they've got two ways to increase their revenue. Keep the same number of sales and bump up all their fees. You know, so if they want a 10% increase in sales, they put a 10% increase on their fees. So the same volume of sales goes through and they get 10% more money, right? Which they've done that to an extent. The other way to do it is to sell more stuff. And to me, that I would imagine is what the eBay strategy is. They want to sell more stuff on their platform. They want more customers coming in. They want sellers selling good stuff. You know, the combination of these things. So although, yeah, there has been an increase in some of the fees, for them to regain their market share, they need to be selling more stuff. So instead of listening to all of the internet gurus, forgive the air quotes, but it's got to be used now and again, who, you know, that guy going on about, I've been at 5%, it did work, so I've gone back down to 2%, and I've had other people saying, yeah, oh, I've gone up to all 10% of my promoted listings, and I've done this, and I've done that. I thought, right, what does eBay say? Who knows eBay best? eBay. When you're putting stuff up on YouTube, you go and you listen to the guys from YouTube on how to optimize your list, your titles, and, you know, all of these things. Why wouldn't you do the same on eBay? So recently I've been tweaking my promoted listings. You know, like what happens if I drop them down low? And sales have declined when I've done that. I know that's been part of the impact. Previously, I'd had them up, some of them up quite high and some of them quite low to see if there was a difference, and I really couldn't tell. I don't have the data analysis, the data to analyse to really get a clear picture of that. It would take too long to go in and pick out every listing. So I thought, right, what does eBay recommend? So eBay recommends dynamic promoted listings, and they have a rate that they would recommend. So I ended all my promoted listings and put everything back on at the dynamic recommended rate. And guess what happened? This was at like 2 in the afternoon, something like that. Sales went through the roof. So yeah, eBay want to make more money, and they are squeezing sellers for every penny they can get. And yes, it does feel unfair that if you're doing it as a wee side hustle and you're just down as a private buyer, you pay about a third of the fees that a business seller will pay. So it's always been the case. Business to business is always more expensive, and that's the biggest part of eBay's revenue. So it would be nice if they actually cut us all a wee bit of a break and reduced some of the fees on that. But if you're moving any kind of volume and you want to take advantage of the platform, you're going to have to pay for it. So eBay recommends, for example, a James Patterson book at 16% promoted listing rate, and that's on the dynamic setting. So that goes up or down, it will automatically move up or down. So why not go with what they think is going to work best, rather than trying to second guess it and saying, well, I reckon I can get just as many sales at 5%. Of course you're not going to. If that, I can't even remember what number I said there, 15%, 16%, whatever it is, if that's where they see optimum, where you're going to get a good number of views to sell the items you've got, then that's what you're going to need to pay. So that's what I've done. And like I say, sales went through the roof. Yesterday was quite a good start anyway. So when did that? It was actually maybe earlier in the day. Was it midday I did that? But I'd already sold everything up to those Pokemon books and the Disney DVDs. So it was quite a good day up until that point. Anyway, I mean, it was going all right, so I'm not saying this is exactly why it's all happened, but then things kept going. Where normally they feel like they slow down, sales kept moving, and on my kind of stats page with the number of views, etc., that's certainly improved as well. And then this morning, it's been a good morning so far as well. So I'm not saying that it has worked, but that first wee early surge seems to have made quite a difference. It was regular sales throughout rather than a total drop-off at point. It could be that because I've had a few shocking days, eBay are throwing me a few sales, because there's still that wee niggling doubt. Do they put a cap? Do they like let you get so many sales and then show other people's items so that they'll get some sales and kind of spread the love rather than one person getting everything? I don't know. I'm still not convinced one way or the other on that one. But for trying to get the best out of eBay, I'm going to listen to eBay and do what they recommend. Let it run like that for a couple of weeks, and then I'll have a comparison. So the first half of the month has been me trying to be clever and reduce my rates and maybe take slightly fewer sales but make the same amount of profit. Second half of the month is going to be doing what eBay recommend, just following their recommended promoted rates, all these other things, and see what difference that makes to the sales. So let's have a look at the rest of the sales that went out so you can maybe see what I'm talking about. And I'm quite sure nearly everybody will disagree with me on this, but it's their business. Let's listen to them. Let's put a wee bit of trust back in. And maybe if everybody did that, we would all get more sales, eBay would get more customers, and perhaps it would become cheaper down the line. I don't know. But big sellers, when you look at what they do, everything's promoted high. They follow that pattern and they're big sellers. So there must be something that. Anyway, next little bundle. JP in the house. James Patterson. Some of his Women's Murder Club novels. We've got 22 Seconds, 20 The Victim, and 23 and a half Lies, which is, I'm sure there was 23 lies, now there's 23 and a half lies, so anyway, the three of them, $9.99. Right, next time on YouTube. another bundle. A wee bit supernatural and spooky. Jill Mansell, not Jill Mansell, she writes romance stuff. Jill Murphy, The Worst Witch, so a wee bundle of 5 Worst Witch books, and they went for £9.96. So a lot of these sales in at that £10 mark or above, which is ideal as far as I'm concerned. Next, single book, The Book of Goethe, or The Lesser Key of Solomon the King, Clavicula Salomonis, with an introductory essay by Alistair Crowley. So I think it's like a book of spells to summon demons. Don't really know. I had a quick flick at it when I picked it up because it just looked, in it says Alistair Crowley, there's usually a wee market for it somewhere. Clavicula Salomonis Regus, which containeth all the names, offices and orders of all the spirits that ever he had converse with the seals and characters to each spirit and the manner of calling them forth to visible appearance. There you go. That one has sold for £10. Right. Next, we've got Paul. Not an author called Paul. It's an author called Terry that's been bought by Paul, who's bought Terry before. So Paul's bought Terry before, and Paul's come back and bought Terry again. Pratchett, of course. So 4 Terry Pratchett paperbacks. We've got Monstrous Regiment, Thief of Time, The Carpet People, and Equal Rights. So thank you very much, Paul, for your support. These will be with you in the next couple of days, hopefully, and that lot sold for £12.99. So thanks again, Paul. Right, couple more orders to look at. Another repeat buyer who has bought Clive Cussler's Fire Strike in hardcover, so that's gone on its own for £8.24 to Mr. Peter Beardsley. Yes, Peter Beardsley. So, cracking footballer. Is it you? Is it? I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, Fire Strike, another one for a repeat buyer, and repeat buyers are fantastic as far as I'm concerned because you're less likely to have a promoted listing on it. But yep, this one's heading out for £8.24. Right, last little bundle order of the day. Colleen Hoover, 3 of them. Ugly Love, Verity. It ends with us. Well, it ends with this actually, because that's the last book I'm showing you today. And the 3 of them, you might have guessed it, £9.99. So, a nice day of sales that's just ticked through consistently. Let's say after turning on or rejigging the whole promoted piece, it definitely kept a bit of momentum going for the day. What is that coincidence? I don't know. It's one day to test it on, but it did take me up to £254 in sales for the day, and all of that lot I've shown you there, plus the 3 that I could only show you the pickies of, was a total of 249. So the kind of 10 AM to 10 AM was the same as the midnight to midnight practically, which again suggests it's a more consistent sales rate throughout the day rather than, you know, some days I'll have like £100 in sales but 150 quid to show you guys because I've had 50 quid come through in the morning and it didn't match up with the day before, and that probably doesn't make any sense. But yeah, 250 quid, and because there was some big sales in there, more of that is obviously going to be profit than going out on postage. So 13 orders will be 39. 13 times 3 is 39, plus £3.90 is 43, plus 3 of them were biggers, so stick another 10 on it, so it's about 50 quid, £50-60, I think about 55 in postage off of that 250 total, so that leaves £200. About a third of the total will go to eBay, so that's about 80-90 quid, so I'm making a wee bit more than usual. you know, it's £100 plus day for me, profit wise, back into the business, which is, it's good. It's where I need to be, to be honest. So that has been a better day. I'm very pleased with it. I hope it continues. I really do hope it continues. It would be nice to find a way to get eBay to work as well as possible, and you know, keep listing good stuff. You never quit. You don't quit. You might change what you're doing, but you don't quit. If something isn't working, learn why. It's a lesson, and change it until you find something that does work. The first 10 things you try might not work, but number 11, that could be the one. And I always just keep that in my head. I will keep trying until something bloody works and starts making a wee bit of an income out of all of this. Anyway, I've still got loads to list from the other day, yesterday, and even last Friday. So I don't know if I'm going to go out and pick anything up today. I've got a few things to do in the middle of the day, and I need to get the boy for college later on. So I don't know. I'll see what I can fit in. But as it stands, a good day yesterday, a good day so far this morning, and I'm hoping that's simply because I've done what eBay suggests. I've followed their recommendations, and hopefully that will improve and maintain sales. Yes, they're going to get more money out of me, but I'm going to have more money coming in, and that's really all I'm caring about, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching as ever. I don't say this enough, but I really do appreciate all the support, all the comments, everything people have got to say. Some really good helpful advice in there, some of which I even take. I'm going to come back and run through some of your questions and comments in a future video, but right now I need to get cracked on with this lot, so I'll just say see ya, love ya, bye.